Good evening, everybody. I'm not sure when this is going out, so it could be good morning. Good evening. Was it good evening, good morning, good night? Is that what they say? I can't
Good
remember.
evening, good morning, good night. Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right. So, welcome everybody to Marathon Talk, our sort of special series that we do throughout the year. We started this last year, and the feedback was positive, so we've carried on doing it. So, thanks to everybody who has given us positive feedback about these shows. We tried selfishly dive into marathons because Hayden and I basically love them and we love talking about them as he's sitting there in his Boston top. So we thought we'd break it out, and on the weeks that we're not around, we could put these out and hopefully you get something out of it because they're very popular at the moment. And we're not every week or every episode going to be focused in on the majors, by the way. So just as a bit of a spoiler to everything, we're not trying to do just the majors, but this this one we are going to be focusing on two of the majors, okay, because they're coming up, and that's why I wanted to use this episode to talk about them. So going forward, other episodes might not necessarily be about the majors. I do think we do need to do an episode about London, Hayden. Do you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Because it's the 45th. It's got an unbelievable elite field.
Yeah.
There's some other people in there, like what's his face? Alex. Is it Alex?
Alex Shea, I'm really interested to see how he gets on with this. I think it's
Yeah.
I've followed him for ages in his career. He's an absolute fantastic runner.
Didn't he do
Really
a 10K the other week? And he absolutely blitzed that as well, I think.
He actually ran, I'm pretty sure, I'll probably get corrected here. I'm pretty sure he ran 10K for a Great Britain team at either a European Championship. So he's in a Great Britain team. He's predominantly a 10K runner, but obviously the triathlons give him that endurance to put him up to. Well, now he's going to go for it for his marathon level.
Yeah, so super excited. But I think we'll probably that'll probably be our next episode. It's probably a little bit more. Well, maybe we'll see. Might do one before then. But anyway, yeah. So this episode, I wanted to really focus in on Tokyo, because that's coming. How many weeks we got for that? It's not many, is it?
I got a feeling it might be 3 weeks Sunday. It's really
something
close.
like that. So
Yeah.
when this comes out, you might literally be a week before Tokyo. So that's important to listen to. And then not too far after that's Boston. So what I wanted to do actually was kind of because Hayden, didn't, whether you know or don't know, he's done all 6 of the World Majors. He's not going to be in Sydney like somebody else. Who's it? He's not training for the Sydney Marathon. He's not training for the Sydney Marathon at the run club that he can't talk about. So, but he's got 6 stars out of the 7. So he's a good person to talk to about these majors when we do get into them. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about this week. For the next 25 minutes was talk about some of the sort of the little bits of detail that you may miss if or you may not have thought about. Firstly, going to obviously do the Tokyo, but I think Tokyo, I want to drill more in for the tips for the day. Boston, we can have a little bit more of a sort of an overview, but I think that the Tokyo, I'm interested in the sort of tips for the day. So let's run me through the sort of day of the Tokyo Marathon. Is it an early start? That sort of stuff. How does it all work?
Yeah, so it was a fairly early start. So I'm going to go off the top of my head. I think it's about a 9 o'clock start, which in marathon terms, it's early. Obviously, it's earlier than New York, it's earlier than London, majors wise. But yeah, it was quite an early start. But also, first thing, because Tokyo is such a big city, the predominant mass of people are getting the tube to the start is something that would just I would like to say I'd like to see you in that position, but I wouldn't. It's like
plastic bags, Sainsbury's bags.
it's that image you got of people. You used to see it years ago. Where they used to push people on with like sticks onto the trains because the tube you're just like absolutely rammed in because everyone's going to the start line. So yeah, that's not the most pleasant, but it's the most cleanest country I've ever been to in my life. So, you get on that train, you don't feel as like it's all dirty or anything. It's just really, really busy.
Okay.
We've got the train too. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the station. But yeah, there's a couple of stations. But once you get into the station, they've got like these, obviously they're very efficient, very organised. They've got like these one-way systems. So I went at a time with my wife and she was starting at a different pen to me. And literally at the train station was the point where we had to separate. We still had a long way to go to get to the pens. And literally she had to go one way around a system of the train station, she had to go the other. And we worked our way towards our pens. Security was really, really strict. At the time, we'd just come out of COVID. So there was a lot of like hype around.
Okay.
We had to have our temperature taken before we get into like the bag drop area. It's quite manic. It's quite a lot. There's not as many international runners as like the other big marathons I've been to. So it was predominantly there was a lot of Japanese there.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot of Japanese there. So yeah, it definitely has got a different feel. It didn't feel as busy as some of the other ones. I'm not sure what the field size is. I definitely don't think it's as big as the other ones.
And so, what's the? Because I always think of like the event villages, like
Yeah,
so, like London, your Greenwich Park and whatnot, and then you New York, you've got the over on the island, Staten Island, or yeah, Staten Island. I can't remember now.
yeah,
Uh, and you've got people mooching about, but they're quite, thinking London, for example, it's like spread over like almost like 3 parks, isn't it? In a way, it's a huge thing. What's it like in Tokyo? Is
no,
it similar sort of thing, or is it
no,
smaller scale?
it's a lot smaller scale. So I'd probably say, in a way, it's on the lines of. Or it's easy for me to say because you've been there. Probably on the lines of New York, where you've got like that predominant, quite a big area. It's not, I say Greenwich, you've got there's so many different start lines. I'm pretty sure Tokyo was just one start line, but it's just the way they get you to the start line. So you queue up in different pens in different areas. It's not one straight line like your Chicago or your Berlin. Um, you sort of like join it at different points. So you all go through the same start line. So because of that, obviously you're talking about that's a mass participation getting them up to
Mm.
that line. So it was really busy. I'll never ever forget going through that start line. The first bit you sort of go up and you have to turn left. And I was running, looking down my watch. I looked up and went straight into the back of someone else. Everyone sort of almost stopped. Literally, was all stopped at one point. It did feel really busy. But I think that's probably maybe because the roads just weren't wide enough. It was a sharp turn. But in terms of the event village, yeah, it's a busy old place. Loads of toilets. Toilets never ever was an issue at
Okay.
Tokyo. Never an issue. Baggage drop. There was like lorries there, same sort of bit like London actually. It was lorries there. You go by your number, you go up, you put your bag on it. The start line and finish line are in different areas, but they're
Mhm.
not as spread apart as London and your New Yorks, and certainly not your Boston. So yeah, it was. To be fair, it was quite efficient. It was quite easy. It was quite straightforward.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
bad at all.
it wasn't any bother. And that random question for a Brit doing it might not impact something. Like, New York, they were giving out like pretzels, bagels, and all sorts of stuff, bananas. There was like loads of stuff. Was there any of that sort of stuff being dished out, or was it like, I don't know?
I definitely remember there being water, but I think that was as far as it went. I don't think there was anything else at all. They had the water. They possibly had that Pocari Sweat there because they were giving that out absolutely
Just
everywhere.
just to tell everyone what is that?
Oh, sorry, that's like their it's like their fueling drink. What they use. It's a bit like you might have Gatorade in America or
Right.
Lucozade in UK. They have Pocari Sweat, so that's what they
Okay.
use.
All right. And then so you've done your bag drop. Yeah, and you say that was a relatively easiest
Yeah.
process. Do they then truck them, or do you finish the same place at which you start? By the way,
No, no. Just the finish line. You start. I'm not sure the actual start place actually named what it's called. But you
mm.
finish actually at the Royal Palace. So yeah, no, it's a little way away from it. So yeah, again, the baggage trucks. Once you've got the stuff on the trucks, I imagine once a race starts, they're same as London. That they're
So then
driving
they
off.
move on, is it?
Yeah, they're
So
moving
okay.
off.
So
Yeah.
obviously, as you do the race, you won't go too much detail about that, but you get the race done. It's not flat.
No, it's
It's.
completely flat. Completely flat.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of. My apologies. I'm thinking of. I've got Sydney on the brain at the moment because I'm doing so much training for it. So it's completely flat.
Yeah.
What was the support like?
Different. I think I've gone onto this before. The reason I think I've always liked the American marathons more than others is maybe it's because I'm speaking the same language as them, so I
Yeah.
hear the more support. In Tokyo, I didn't get that. You very rarely hear your name shouted out, even when you've got it on your top.
Hmm.
There was a few Brits there, but no, the support wasn't nowhere near as good. But again, I have to give that caveat: the fact that we're just coming out of COVID, so I think
Yeah.
people are a bit nervous. People aren't out on the streets as much, but it's predominantly one, two, three. It's about four out and backs where you're going out and you're coming back. You're going out. So you're constantly seeing people going both ways. So the crowds, they're not so dispersed so far across the city.
So you're
So
seeing a lot
you
of
get to see
runners,
'em.
basically.
Yeah, you see a lot of runners,
It's
a
not a
hell of
bad
a lot of
thing.
runners.
It's not a
No, it's
bad
a good
thing.
thing. Good thing.
So I think
Good thing.
that's a point. It can keep you motivated. Give you something to think about, something to look else to look at, in it really.
Yeah,
Um,
great. Great.
so you've done it. If you're like that famous person who's very similar to a goat, and you've walked most of it,
Bless. Even though
you've
he
got
done sub four still.
unbelievable. Isn't it? He walked, basically, he walked. What did I say? Was it 38 minutes or something stupid? He walked on his, according to his watch, he walked like 30 something minutes and still went sub four. But anyway, I love you, Speaker. But yeah, so you've done the race, you've gone through. What was the medal like? What's the medal like in Tokyo?
Oof. Out of all of them, it's definitely the worst one.
Crap, basically.
There's no doubt about it. It's got that sports day vibes about
Have
it.
you got it in have you got that in a frame?
Yeah, of course I have. I'm all in a frame. Yeah, had to sit up there.
No, I can't see if
No,
you're listening to
too
this.
far away.
It's too small to see.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I can't even see it. Yeah, it's that.
um,
It's definitely the worst out of all of them. Must be honest.
okay, so you got your bling anyway. Well done. The bag's given to you, or have you got to try and
No, so we
figure it
come
out?
round. I know I'm going to keep going on about this, but it might be the same this year because they're a nation, they're a culture with masks, face masks anyway. As soon as we went across the finish line, there's someone standing there and they hand you out a face mask to put straight
Right.
on because then you're dealing with
That
volunteers.
might have been COVID.
It could have been that, to be fair, yeah. But they are a nation that wear masks a lot. As we come round, we got the medal. There were some people going off to get their 6-star medal, if that was the case. And we've got someone from the running community, Helen. She'll be out there this year getting her 6-star medal, so
Does she
she'll be
does she
picking it up
still
there.
get the medal, Hayden? Like, no, they've changed it all in that. Like, does she still?
They haven't changed anything at the moment. There's on the 6-star medal. There's a gap at the moment where you can put this coin thing in, and they're letting you put like the Sydney Marathon sort of medal in there. But they haven't adapted anything yet, as far as I know, for a specific 7-star medal at all. It's still your standard 6-star medal that you've got there. So yeah, she'll be picking that up.
Oh, okay, that's still pretty awesome, isn't it? I
Yeah,
think
absolutely,
it's
absolutely.
just more to get it.
Yeah.
So you've done all that. You're home and hosed. Is there sort of
That's just
one?
one thing I will
Yeah,
tell you about that I thought was so impressive, and I know you've got one as well. They gave you like a towel, like a beach towel thing,
yeah,
like
they're
a,
amazing.
a poncho thing that goes
They're
over
amazing.
Tokyo Marathon. It's absolutely brilliant. I love that at the end of the race. That was a great little touch. Really enjoyed that.
Um,
Brilliant.
One sort of tip for somebody who's going out there and doing it for the first time. What's the one sort of bit of advice, just I don't know something you could give them, part with a bit of knowledge that may help them on race day.
I would honestly say the biggest thing, people I talk to, I get a lot of people message me and say, I'm trying to do the majors, I'm doing this, all I've got
Mm.
left is this one. The biggest thing I get from so many people is the only one that they're a bit worried about and they get anxious about and have the anxiety is Tokyo. And
It's
I was the
understandable.
same. Yes, the other side of the world. It's a long way. It's different cultures. Such a long flight time, the jet lag, etc. Just don't worry about it. Honestly, do not worry about it. Once you get there, that morning when you get there and you get in the mode, it feels exactly the same as if you're going to do Edinburgh Marathon. It feels the same as if you're going to do Brighton Marathon,
Mm.
Newport Marathon. You get there, you get that marathon feeling in you, and you're ready to go. It doesn't matter if you're in Tokyo. It doesn't matter where you are. That is the most important thing. Really, really take that with you. Don't be scared of it and think, "Oh my God, what have I got this? What have I got into that?" And literally, it's that when you finish it, it feels like a real. It feels like relief, if I'm honest with you. And I tell you that one little tip. I don't know if it'd be the same. You might be lucky. Straight after the race, we went into there's an ASICS store just there, and it was sponsored time by ASICS. And there was a
Mm.
pub right opposite, an English pub. But we'll go in there and have a few drinks. There's me, Speedgo, and my wife was in there. We had a few drinks, had something to eat, and then at the end, we went to pay the bill, and they said, "No, no, there's nothing to pay." I was like, "What? There's nothing to pay?" Literally, all three of us had eaten and drunk quite a few drinks. They said, "No, it's all on ASICS." So
Wow.
right opposite the ASICS store is an English pub there. Maybe take a chance and go down there. You never know. They might do it
You
again.
never know. You never know.
Yeah,
Right. I hope that was useful for anybody. And good luck to everybody who's doing it. Just enjoy it. That's the most important thing.
yeah, definitely.
Uh, Moving on to Boston, because there's not much difference in terms of time. There's what is it? 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, three
Yeah,
weeks?
about 6 weeks. About 6 weeks
That's
after.
6 weeks,
Yeah.
right? So whether we get one out before then or not, I wanted to sort of kill two birds with one stone tonight. Full of analogies this evening.
You
Have you
are.
noticed?
You are.
Do you like it or not?
It's deep thought. Yeah, I like it. I worry about because you start looking at things and thinking deeply, and it's not
Mm.
always a good sign for you. I like it when you're spontaneous and you come out with things. It's deep thoughts. It's not you.
Spontaneity combusting, like I was earlier today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Behavior is communication, Hayden.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Boston. Now, I'm gonna throw it out there, and I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not saying anything on the subject. What's your thoughts about influencers getting Boston places?
Yeah, influencers, celebrities, all of them. It's really difficult.
Boston places, Boston places.
Boston in
The
particular,
reason
obviously, is the one.
sorry, I'm
Go on,
gonna cut into you,
go on,
bruv.
no,
Sorry,
go on.
my bad. The reason I mention it is because Boston, unless you go charity, they want you to qualify. So if you're over here in the UK, and I appreciate that we're massive in Malta, Philippines, Vietnam, everywhere else, right? But to get into it, unless you can, I think sports tours do it, but
Yep.
quite punchy in it.
It's lots of punches. They get 50 spaces and they get 3,000 people apply.
Okay, there you go. Right. So realistically, the best hope you've got is have a really good coach and qualify. Like I know a couple of people who've have done that. You're welcome, by the way. Everybody who I coach, you've got that. But yeah, so that's why I throw it out there, and I'm not doing it to cause chaos as usual. I'm actually just interested to get your opinion on it. Like, so there's a bit of uproar about influencers getting sort of bibs or race entry without having to run the time. And yeah, so what's your thoughts on that?
I actually not sitting on the fence. I sit bang in the middle because I understand it's one of them races that it is the pinnacle's a bit over the top, but it's something that people work so damn hard
Mhm.
for. I know people that have done a race have worked nearly broke their back doing this race, and they haven't qualified by 6 or 7 seconds,
Mm,
and that is heartbreaking. We've trained hard, and then for someone else to get a place, well, they haven't gone through that process. They haven't gone through that criteria that's needed. That stinks.
mm,
But on the flip side of it, you've got to appreciate that the marathons have sponsors around them. They have your brands attached to them. And there's no point having a brand if you're a brand having that if you can't put your own people there, if you don't have some privileges, or you want someone to promote it, you're not going to get Mr. Jones who's just busted his balls for 3 years and qualified by 2 minutes. He's not going to go out there and help you promote your brand. So you need someone doing that. So I totally get the argument from both sides. How it gets resolved and how people think, I think it's just a complete 50-50 split. I really, really have sympathy for people that get the hump with the influencers going out there, think it's not fair. But again, I have sympathy for, and again, for the influencers, they've been offered a place at Boston. You going to take it?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I agree with you on that as well. I mean, you're going to take it, and you're going to take it all day long, and you're going to go, you know what? I'm just going to put up with the flack here because I get to run Boston.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I'm right or wrong on this, and please correct me, and anybody who's listening, please correct me because I'm happy to be on this one. As far as I'm aware, right, the sort of the advertising, the brands, places don't impact the numbers in terms of like the places that for people who qualify. I'm not 100. That they're always sort of they're already given out to them. They know like Adidas have got. I've got absolutely no idea. Let's say they've got 1,000 places. I've got no idea. I'm sure that's always been in place. And Chicago, not Chicago, Bank of America, whatever they're called, I've got I don't know 500 places. That's already in the mix in terms of the people qualifying and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not 100% sure how much impact that actually has because I wouldn't. What I'm trying to get is I don't think you're necessarily taking a place away from
Correct.
somebody
Correct.
because I think they're always going to be there. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
So
so if ASICs don't put that extra person in, doesn't mean there's an extra space available for someone
no,
at time qualifying. No,
no, that's
absolutely
what
not.
that's what I'm trying to get at. It's the same in London, right? New Balance and all the other partners of London Marathon events, they will have X, Y, and Z places. But I don't think that's taking away places from, let's say, the general public or qualifiers or anything like that. I could see the argument that it will impact the field in some respects because there's only so many runners they can have. But I'm not sure whether that's
It's funny that it comes
right
up.
on.
It comes up more on Boston because of Boston isn't honestly. It's hard to explain. It isn't just a marathon. Boston that weekend, everything is about running. You
Mm,
go there and it's just there's shakeout runs everywhere. There's
brilliant.
there's masses and church services every night for the runners.
Mm,
Everything about Boston is just about running. So I think when these things come up, it becomes a bigger issue.
mm.
You don't really hear about people like having the ump a little bit or something because someone's got a place
I mean,
in
I
in
could give you a
Berlin.
list of celebrities, right,
Oh, there you
that
go.
have
I know.
done London about a
I know.
billion times,
Yeah.
right?
And some of them not even complete. They just stepped off the course. So I can't be bothered.
And so, if you want to go town on them. But again, stay in your lane, do your own thing. I don't blame the celebrities. You've got, do you like to run the London Marathon? Oh, yeah, Christ. You can't blame them.
Yeah.
They're going to take it. It's not them. I would say, don't blame the player, blame the game.
In the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I get me saying on that. But so in terms of Boston, let's say you're traveling out there first time or whatever, what's the sort of nuances around it? Is there any sort of tips is a bit strong, but is there any sort of ways you can direct people to get the best of the experience?
Yeah, there's a few things. It's unique as a marathon because it's the 26.2 miles from one destination to the other. There's no loops. You're not going round. There's no out and back. You're just going one whole road, straight road, 26.2 miles through the different villages. So at the start, obviously, you've got to get to the start really early. Well, actually, you get to the finish. You make your way to the finish and you do your bag drop at finish on these yellow school buses, and they stay there the whole time. And then from there, you go into the park, Boston Manor Park, is it Boston Park? Boston Common. And from there, you get one of these school buses, and it takes you 26.2 miles all the way to the start. So it's a long, long morning. So one of the biggest tips, absolutely, is have something that you can, especially fueling wise, like a cereal bar
Yeah, fueling.
or a banana or something like that, because you've got a long morning ahead of you. Not only have you got 26 miles and an old rickety bus that can't go past probably 40 miles an hour. When you get to the other side, then you've got these holding areas that they keep you there for a hell of a long time. You've got at least half a mile to a mile walk from the holding area to the start line, where you walk down through villages. And then you've got all of that. Then you've got the whole start line shenanigans. And suddenly, before you know it, you're running Boston Marathon. So literally, I think I got to Boston Common to do my bag drop round about 6:30 in the morning. And I didn't even start Boston until about 9:45 in the morning, I don't think, 10 o'clock in the
Blimey.
morning. So it was a long, long time. So fueling before that, before
Yeah,
you go
fueling's
out.
key.
Yeah, if you fuel at your hotel, if I've had my breakfast, I feel good. Within 3 or 4 hours, you know, that fuel's going to be used up, especially if you're stressing and
3
worried
or 4
about
hours,
stuff.
I'd need about 8 ponies. Do you know what I mean? It's just, but how many toilets they got on that coach?
They have none on the bus, I can tell you that.
I bet
I'll tell you what, that is one little tip, actually. So when you get to the holding pen at the start, there's loads of toilets there and there is big queues. But then when they call you forward and you've got this like half a mile walk down to the start, there's toilets on the way down there. And it's really weird. You walk down this sort of like typical sort of country road in America, and you've got the bungalows on the side, and people are out having barbecues and cheering you and stuff. But the road's all closed, so it's just you lot all walking towards the start. But there's like another holding area down there where there's toilets and stuff as well. So don't stress if you can't go sort of like in that first holding area. There's
Upper
definitely more
stress.
toilets for everyone.
What do they? Because the biggest thing that the sort of, other than like you at the end, seeing you at the end with your medal, but one of the biggest things that take the takeaways from the New York marathons, when me and you, apart from singing New York at the start line, was when that bloody cannon went off.
Oh my god, yeah, that was different.
I'll never forget that. That
Never.
I tell you, obviously London Marathon, me and you, but that when we and you were there and that went through us. What do they do at Boston? So okay, sorry, if you didn't know, in New York, yeah, when you start on the Verrazano Bridge, yeah, and there's this massive cannon that's basically like next to you, and normally you would never stand so close to something that loud, and they set it off to start the race, and it's an experience just to do that. What do they? How do they start Boston?
Off the top of my head, pretty sure I was. Problem is, they've got so at New York they had sort of like them structured waves. So they have a wave go, then they
Yeah.
hold everyone back, and then they go. So they're able to do that. This was more of, it wasn't a rolling start, but I wasn't in. Being Boston, obviously, you've got people that are running just ridiculous time. So
Mm.
whereas usually I might be in the second wave or the third wave, I think Boston was like wave 5 or 6 or something. So a lot of it had already gone. I'm pretty sure we was up there in the village, Hopkinton it is, and they had the national anthem. They have someone singing national anthem. Obviously, again, that's like gives you the shivers, gets you ready to start.
Mm.
But yeah, there was nothing. There certainly weren't no cannons there, because I would have remembered that.
It is funny how how they all have their little things, isn't it? How they all start. It's like when you're in the London Marathon, if you're doing it for the first time, and they play the London Marathon tune
Yeah,
on the big screen, because the wheelchair athletes are started or the elites are started or something, and they're playing the theme tune. It's like, oh, goosebump moment. You know what I mean? It's like it's these little things that you
it's
pick up.
marathons. That's what
Yeah,
marathons are.
this is big events. You know what you've done all that training for, and it's unbelievable. And then you have these memories that sort of stick with you from those days. And it's not always the running, right? It's the other bits and bobs, like we just talked about.
That's what I
It's
said with Boston. Honestly, it really isn't. If you're lucky enough to go out there, which I know a few people that going out this year, it's not just about marathon day. It's the weekend. It's a runner's weekend. Obviously, they got the 5K on the Sunday. Oh, sorry, on the Saturday as well, which is a really big
Do you
race.
do that?
I done it last year, but this year I tried to do it again. They just sold out. They sold out in something like about 35 minutes. So
Jesus.
12,000 spaces in 35 minutes on a 5K. It's an Adidas one, which is good. So
Wow.
I went with the premise this time. The fact I'd done it, I said, if we get in, we get in. If I don't, we
Yeah.
don't. We're going to actually do park run, because they've got a park run right there as well. So that'd be something a
That's
bit
something
different.
different, isn't it?
Yeah, Jamaica Pond is called. So yeah, looking forward to that instead. But yeah, no, it's a shame when you get the 5K. But again, on that 5K, you come through the actual Boston finish line, and you've got more chance of getting yourself a selfie there than you have on marathon day. Because marathon day, they're pushing you through to
Mm,
get you through. So yeah, the 5K is a really, really good event. You go up past the expo, but again, it's just trying to get across to people that it isn't just about race day, as you said while ago. It's something you've trained for, and you get
mm.
there and you think, wow, this is what it's all about. It's almost like you've paid for a holiday package, and you get there and you think, this is everything. It's not just about the race.
All right, question. I've just seen the time. Just for these two races, rate the expos. And actually, I think maybe this should be a theme that we do throughout this, right? In terms of where we talk about these majors. Expo at Tokyo. What's that like?
Absolutely, it is the worst expo I've ever been to. I honestly think the expo I went to at Benidorm was better. It's honestly, it was horrendous. We went on the very, very first day. It was all over the place. The queues were just out of control. And we went
Mm.
into the store. You want to get a bit of merch? They had sold out of nearly everything. They didn't even do jackets. And for me, that marathon day
Yeah, the
jacket's quite
marathon
important to me.
jacket.
You like a marathon? They didn't even do them. And t-shirts, they sold out of all down about 2 or 3 different sizes left. It was an absolute shambles. We was there for
Really?
ages. Really, really awful. And again, I've got to give them a little bit of credit because it could have been at the COVID. You had to go and submit your COVID results. You had to have a COVID test
Yeah, it
while
could
you
have
was
been that.
there. There's a lot of stuff like going on, but overall it was horrendous.
I'm
Honestly,
sure
out
actually
of 10, I'd give it 1. It was that
I'm
bad.
sure I'm sure they would have built it out because of COVID. They probably cut it all back a bit, and so it'd be interesting.
Be interesting
Maybe
to
we'll get
see.
Hells on
Yeah.
and have a chat to her about it because it'd be interesting to hear what it's like, whether it's grown. Obviously, running's grown as a sport in general, anyway. So it'd be
Massive.
interesting. If they puffed it out. So compare that to Boston.
Oh yeah, but Boston was on a different level at all. I thought New York was good. Chicago actually is really good. And to be fair, come on, I've got to give them credit. London's good as well. Yeah, I like all.
We'll rate them through the years. We go through
Yeah.
the year. We'll
Oh yeah.
rate them.
So Boston, literally, I'm going to go out of 10. I'm looking at about. It's a good 9. It really is a good
Really?
9. Yeah, they got loads and loads of merchandise there.
Oh,
And the
I'd
good
love
thing what
it.
they do at Boston as well is you've got the expo, it's a massive centre. And as you come out, you walk up and you're at the finish line. And by there is pop-up shops everywhere.
Wow.
And they sell the official Boston merchandise in your standard shops as well. It's not like just Nike you got to go to in Chicago to get it. All your sports shops, they sell them everywhere. So you could literally have got to be queuing up for ages, like trying to
Uh,
fight for like a medium top or a large top, whatever you got.
extra large. Yeah.
Extra large. They've got them everywhere else. So yeah, for that reason, everything about the Expo is absolutely brilliant. Definitely.
I'll be honest. I am obviously Chicago. I'm absolutely buzzing for, but
Yeah,
I'm really
brilliant.
excited about the expo.
Yeah, Chicago is brilliant.
I do love, even though on paper it's a nightmare for anybody who's neurodivergent. All the sensory overload, the queuing, and all that sort of stuff. But I'm so focused on getting the merch.
Do you know what? It's actually something we don't talk about that much. So I know we shouldn't always be majors focused, but looking at the majors because of the brand awareness is so big. It's dependent on what brand sponsors the race to firstly your experience with buying your merch because Nike sponsors Chicago, and
Mm.
I'm a big Nike fan. I like Nike, but that brings a price tag. So buying
Is
merch
that
at Chicago
Nike?
Marathon,
Right?
yeah,
It's Nike.
Nike, yeah, Nike. So buying merch at Chicago is going to be a lot more expensive than when you buy it, say, at London. New
Mm.
Balance is, by definition, it's a little bit of a cheaper brand to buy stuff. Asics is
No,
expensive
hang on. I could correct you on that. New Balance, bruv, over here is the wrong price.
over here. Yeah, correct. Yeah, over
Like,
here. Yeah, I'm
uh,
thinking New York. It was better.
yeah,
Yeah,
New York is a bit different, but no,
yeah,
you think over here, right? A pair of SC Elite version 4s are 260 quid. Over in New York, I think they're $180.
yeah. That's
The
just
New
different.
Balance stuff is over here, where they ship it in, they take the piss in terms of the pricing. But I know what you're saying. It varies.
Same as Adidas. They don't hold back with the pricing either. And
Cool.
obviously,
Bit
they're
lively.
sponsoring Boston as well. So
Yeah, but the
and
Boston
Berlin.
stuff I kind of get, you know what I mean? They kind of got you by the nuts, haven't they, really?
Yeah,
Because you're going to buy it. There's no,
yeah.
you only, unless you're really lucky, you're only going to do one Boston, unless you're an influencer like Hayden. Was it-
I did not get my place given to me, by the way.
he earned it. He earned it. He earned it. No, but it's interesting, and that's a good thing to go through this year. We'll get your feedback on the on. Did you rate the Boston?
Oh,
Uh,
Expo,
yeah,
yeah, 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay.
Definitely 9 out of 10. But then I said it before. I know we've done the show before, but I've got to say, Boston Actual Marathon is 10 out of 10. Absolutely
No, you're not allowed to do it yet. You've got to go there and do
I
it.
can't keep. Honestly, you get me thinking about it. I've sort of put it to the back of my mind, and when we start talking about it, you get that feeling again. I really, really get hyped for it. And I know I can't. I'm actually really excited about you doing Chicago this year, if I'm honest, because
I
know you're going to feel the same way.
I can't. I'm trying to hold on to it because everything that I'm doing is building to that race. Yeah, like all my training, everything is strategically put in place. Listen, it might go completely wrong in terms of I might get something wrong in the training plan, but everything I'm doing, like tomorrow, 21 miles, but I'm doing like most of it easy because I know I don't need to push yet. If I was like just focusing on London, I probably would do a little bit more goal pace tomorrow, but I don't need to. It's just about getting mileage, getting that back after like last year and obviously what happened. Just trying to get back into the saddle and that. But everything is focused on that race. I am so excited about it. And again, hate flying, hate expos, hate traveling, hate public transport, hate being in crowds, hate being away from home. Everything I hate, but actually I'm breaking down those barriers by doing Chicago. And so for me, it's more of a win, not for completing the race, but for completing the whole journey.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be incredible. Right, that's it. What a great show. So we shall be back. We're gonna do it again. I think we do a London special. I think that should be our next one. We'll do that. We'll put that together. If you've got any questions about London, because
will the London special include your famous, actually infamous now, your 60-second roundup of the route? Because that is pretty decent, to be fair. That's
what, that on Instagram has had about nearly 200,000 views.
Brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I'd say we need to. So if we do a London one, obviously it will go out again before that, but we need to get that in. Definitely make sure we don't forget that.
Okay, we'll do a 30-second. We'll do a 30-second route. As you can see, if you're watching this over my shoulder, I've done it a few times. So we will be going over that. But if you've got any questions that you want us to answer about London, maybe you're travelling in or whatever, because it's global success now, 1 million downloads a week. Email, what is it?
longrunshow@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. And we'll put them in. Otherwise, we'll just chat about amongst ourselves like we usually do. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much to everybody. If you're from Abbott's World Majors, do consider sponsoring us. If you email hello@fordyruns.com and we'll take, minimum £1 million. So just email that in because we just sat there and publicised all your races for the last half hour for free. But yeah, where's the outro? Right, that's it. We shall see you another time. Bye-bye.